Hurricane Melissa has just made landfall on Jamaica at winds of 185 miles an hour, tying for the strongest landfall in the Atlantic on record with Hurricane Dorian 2019 and the Labor Day hurricane back in the 1930s. In this video, we're going to break down what is happening with Melissa, how strong did it get, and where we'll be heading to next. And at the end of the video, we'll have a short segment on this nor'easter kind of a system along the East Coast. So with all that out of the way, let's get started. So this system has actually gained a lot of crazy satellite imagery over the last little bit. As you can see, it had crazy satellite imagery already, but as soon as it turned to the north, it all of a sudden looks insane and gets so much stronger before it finally makes its landfall in Jamaica. Extremely catastrophic storm, causing major wind. And they're still dealing with that at the time of the recording of this video. So maybe if you're watching this on Wednesday, we're going to start to actually see what kind of damage we've already had. And again, over the course of the rest of the week and the coming weeks, we'll be able to understand what Melissa has actually done and what it is doing to the land. It is actually the third most intense storm on record. That's by pressure, 992 millibars. And I think it actually was that at landfall too. Now, moving on to where this system could actually be heading, our NHC outlook shows it weakening down to a category 4 after that, and the average of it takes it right around landfall around Chivrico in Cuba, and then around the island of, I don't actually know what island that is, but whatever these islands are, you're in the direct center of the cone, actually a little bit to the right of the cone. The center of the cone goes right through these. I'm not sure if it's Turks and Caicos or Bahamas right there. But after that, it's going to take a track up to Bermuda, and right now the track taking it just to the west of Bermuda. We'll show you that in a little bit with our AI models here. And after that, we won't have to worry about it. But we still got a lot of things to do with this system. Now moving on to where this thing is heading, of course. Of course, it just hit Jamaica. It's going to move up toward Cuba. The AI models have done pretty well with this system. This AI model takes it about through the same exact spot that the NHC says it will go through. And it takes it up just to the west of Bermuda. And this system, we'll talk about that later at the end of the video, picks it up, takes it out to sea, and we won't have to see it again, pretty much. So really, after Bermuda, we're just fine. We will still have some waves along the East Coast, but that is all that we will be dealing with here in US. Now, our Google AI model. Now, there is a little thing up here that says this may be an older model, so this may not be correct. But we do have the forecast. I think this is actually slightly old, but it's the most recent, and it does show it taking it up right through Cuba. And this average takes it again right about in the Rio Uvero area in Cuba. And then, again, just like the NHC cone, right in between these islands here. And just to the west of Bermuda. And this will be gradually weakening and moving a lot faster as it continues that way. Now, rainfall, beyond this, we've actually seen a lot of our rainfall already in Jamaica. That's why it is lower. But we're going to see another 10-ish inches in the western side of Jamaica, central Jamaica there, and maybe another 4 or 5 inches in the eastern side. We're going to see 15 to 20 inches in this area in eastern Cuba. Western Cuba pretty much going to be untouched. Haiti, good news. We're not going to see much more rain there, except on the southern coast. We might see a couple more inches. Now, in the Bahamas, we may see a thin slice of up to 10 inches. But after that, we should be the 4 to 7 inch range. Generally not much above 6 inches. But we do have a couple pockets of maybe 7 inches. But those should stay well out to sea, so no need to worry about 7 inches out to sea. And I'll continue to track this over the coming week or two. Now, moving on to our synoptic pattern over the next couple of days. This is our system that is going to bat Melissa away. We actually have a system that went across the southern U.S. Over the course, I've been tracking Melissa. Of course, I haven't covered the U.S. weather for about a week, so I have not tracked this much. But it's been producing some severe weather over in here and over in Florida. And this other system here also going to produce some severe weather, bring some cooler air behind it. And this will also be mostly a southeastern system until we get into the northeast, where we can potentially get maybe some slight flooding. And some of the models are showing some light rain up here in northern New England. Actually, not as much in Maine. It could happen in New York, it could happen in Maine. So that's where it's going to happen, and it could last a little longer than the actual system. Now, our European model is showing, again, this system going to bring a lot of cool air behind it. It is going to track it through the southeast U.S., and this is going to move to the north. And this one doesn't show the snow immediately, but a little afterward, it does show a little bit of snow. We can get into the details maybe another time, but as you can see here, this is the system that takes Melissa out to sea and keeps it away from the U.S. Now, we actually do have a slight risk of severe weather today in eastern Texas, western Louisiana, right along the border there, and a marginal that does stretch all the way up into southern Arkansas. Thunderstorms possible anywhere up into Missouri and over to Oklahoma and Alabama. So maybe even over here in Florida. But this is driven by a 5% risk of tornadoes in about the same area. Our wind risk slightly larger, hence why our marginal risk is this size and not the 2% size there. We could have some slight damaging wind and a little bit of hail. Looking at this from a convective look, here is our 12Z run of the HRRR model. This is one of the more reliable of our convective models. We're going to see this start to produce some storms as we head into 4 p.m. or 3 p.m.-ish over here in the central area. So I'm Eastern. Put this -1 hour if you want to see what it's actually going to happen. And we're going to see some storms burst up in eastern Texas. And it's likely going to produce some decent severe weather as it becomes somewhat of a band of storms. But as you can see here, some of them seem decently discrete. It's not just a windbag type event, which is why we only have a 5% wind risk. And since they're more discrete, we do have a higher tornado risk. And as we head into the late evening hours, this is going to move to the east and mostly become rain. Now, the last thing I want to cover before we're out of here is the temperature anomalies. We are somewhat going to have a below average period of weather down here in the southeast until about Saturday. And we could actually have a couple reaffirmings of this. The GFS actually shows quite a few, but we're not looking that far out. I think that's all I have for you, and I will see you in the next video. Stay safe with Hurricane Melissa, please.